Title: The 7 Toxic Ingredients in Your Favorite Meal, and You Had No Idea. Opening scene: dramatic music, slow zoom into a bar grill. What if I told you that one of the most beloved meals in the world, the one you enjoy at family gatherings, parties, and summer cookouts, could also be one of the most dangerous things you can put in your body? Yes, we're talking about barbecue. Smoky, juicy, flavorful barbecue. But behind the mouth-watering smell and savory sauces, there are hidden dangers, toxic chemicals that can slowly harm your health. In this video, we're going to break down 7 harmful compounds that can be found in your average barbecue meal. Some of these substances have been directly linked to cancer, Alzheimer's, chronic inflammation, and even DNA damage. So buckle up, and by the end of this video, you might just see your favorite meal in a completely different way. The DNA mutator. Let's start with something that forms the very moment your food touches the grill. PAHs, or polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, are chemical compounds that develop when fat from meat drips onto an open flame. That smoke rises up, coats your food, and boom, a tasty layer of flavor and a potentially toxic layer of chemicals. Studies have shown that PAHs can actually mutate DNA, which increases your risk of developing cancer, particularly in the colon and stomach. The more charred and blackened your meat is, the more PAHs it likely contains. That delicious burnt edge on your ribs or burger? That's where the danger hides. But here's the twist. It's not just meat. Anything you grill, even vegetables, can develop PAHs when exposed to open flame. Half of 2. AGEs, accelerated aging on a plate. Next up, we have AGEs, short for advanced glycation end products. These form when sugar reacts with protein or fat during cooking, especially at high temperatures. Think caramelized meats, sugary sauces, or the sweet glaze on barbecue ribs. This chemical reaction doesn't just affect taste, it affects your body on a cellular level. AGEs are known to trigger inflammation, contribute to insulin resistance, accelerate aging of skin and organs, and are even linked to Alzheimer's disease. One of the most common sources? Barbecue sauce. Ever read the ingredients on a bottle of barbecue sauce? You'll find high fructose corn syrup, added sugars, caramel coloring, and preservatives, a cocktail for AGEs. So every time you smother your grilled meat in that sticky sweet glaze, you're feeding your body a dose of chronic inflammation and aging fuel. Sodium nitrates, a hidden carcinogen. Moving on to ingredient 3, sodium nitrates. You'll find these in nearly all processed meats: bacon, hot dogs, sausages, ham, and even smoked brisket. They're used to preserve color, enhance flavor, and extend shelf life. Sounds useful, right? Well, here's the problem. When these meats are heated, sodium nitrates can convert into nitrosamines, which are powerful carcinogens. Multiple studies have connected processed meats containing nitrates with an increased risk of colorectal cancer, especially when consumed regularly. The World Health Organization has even classified processed meat as a Group 1 carcinogen, the same category as cigarettes and asbestos. Let that sink in. Eating too much barbecue sausage might not be so different from inhaling cigarette smoke. Glyphosate, the weed killer in your bread. You might think, okay, I'll skip the processed meat and just have a sandwich with barbecue sauce. Unfortunately, that's where glyphosate sneaks in. Glyphosate is the main ingredient in Roundup, a widely used weed killer in industrial farming. While it's not sprayed directly on your sandwich, it can leave residue on crops like wheat, corn, soy, canola, which means you might be ingesting glyphosate every time you eat bread, tortilla chips, cornbread, pasta, crackers. The problem? The World Health Organization classifies glyphosate as a probable human carcinogen. It can also disrupt your gut microbiome, act like an antibiotic in your digestive tract, potentially lead to chronic diseases by weakening your immune system. In fact, one study found that wheat can have up to 3x more glyphosate than soy or corn because it's often sprayed right before harvest to speed up drying. Scary, right? 5. For me, the soda poison. Let's talk drinks, because what's a barbecue without a cold soda, right? Most colas and brown sodas contain caramel coloring, and during its production, a byproduct called 4-methylimidazole can form. 4-MeI has been shown to cause cancer in lab animals, and some states, like California, require warning labels if levels are too high. You'll also find 4-MeI in barbecue sauces, some gravies, packaged sauces, and marinades. So you've got the meat, the sauce, and the soda, each adding another layer of chemical exposure. And when you drink soda from aluminum cans, the acidity of the drink can leach aluminum from the can into your body. Which brings us to our next hidden danger. PAH, aluminum, the silent brain invader. Aluminum isn't just in your soda can, it's in grill pans, foil, and even your bread. When you cook food in aluminum foil, especially under high heat, small particles of aluminum can leach into your food. If you store hot meat in foil or cover it while smoking, you're increasing your exposure even more. Studies have linked excessive aluminum intake to Alzheimer's disease, neurodegenerative disorders, cognitive decline. And it doesn't stop at foil. Aluminum compounds are used as leavening agents in some breads, baking powders, and processed pastries, all common sides in a barbecue meal. Add it all together, and your plate is looking more like a periodic table than a meal. 7. Potassium bromate, the illegal bread booster. Last but not least, we have potassium bromate, a chemical added to bread and flour products to make them rise better and look fluffier. Sounds harmless until you find out it's banned in over 60 countries, including the EU, UK, China, and Brazil, linked to cancer in animal studies. Still used legally in the United States. Why? Because it makes the bread look nicer and hold shape better, even if it might harm you in the long run. Where can you find it? Burger buns, hot dog buns, cornbread mixes, even some pizza crusts and flour tortillas. So when you're enjoying your barbecue sandwich, don't forget that soft, fluffy bun might be delivering more than just carbs. The final recipe, a toxic combo. Let's put it all together. What does this dangerous meal actually look like? It's a barbecued piece of meat, grilled until slightly charred, smothered in sweet barbecue sauce, full of ages and 4-MeI, cooked or stored in aluminum foil, made from processed meat like sausage or bacon with sodium nitrates, served on a bun or cornbread made with potassium bromate and glyphosate tainted wheat, paired with a soda in an aluminum can and maybe eaten off a styrofoam plate for convenience. This right here is what Dr. Eric Berg calls the most dangerous meal in the world. And the worst part, most people eat it without a second thought. What can you do instead? Now, don't worry. This doesn't mean you have to give up barbecue forever. The goal isn't to scare you. It's to educate and help you make better choices. Here are a few tips to reduce your exposure. Grill at lower temperatures to reduce PAHs. Use dry rubs or natural marinades instead of sugary sauces. Choose organic, nitrate-free meats. Avoid processed meats altogether. Pick organic whole grain or gluten-free breads. Use glass containers or stainless steel instead of foil. Drink from glass bottles or use filtered water. Avoid sodas with caramel coloring. And most importantly, read labels. If you don't know what something is, look it up. Closing, you don't have to be perfect, but if you can avoid just a few of these toxic compounds, your body will thank you. So the next time you're at a barbecue, take a second look at what's on your plate. Because sometimes the most dangerous ingredients are the ones you can't see. Thanks for watching. If you found this video eye-opening, drop a like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to see this. And if you're curious about what you can eat to stay healthy, check out the next video on the top 10 cleanest foods for your body.